Hey everybody. So like I mentioned the other day, I had a little competition with my students at Blackstone Valley Tech. And I put it out there to them. I gave them a list of ingredients that I had at home and asked them what to make for dinner. I told them that my family would choose and we would cook that. So we actually ended up with a tie. So two of us chose American chop suey, which you'll see in the previous video, which we made last night. So I want to give a shout out to the students who suggested that. There were actually 4 separate students that suggested American chop suey. And so that was one of my freshmen, Sam, who suggested a spicy American chop suey, sophomores Kimber and Erin, and one of our juniors, Grace. So the other thing, there was another tie that had 2 votes once we got here, was Juicy Lucy's. So Juicy Lucy was suggested by one of our seniors, Eli. So wanted to give a shout out to those kids who made those suggestions. We're on to the Juicy Lucy. So the Juicy Lucy essentially is a cheeseburger that has the cheese on the inside. It's really quite good. I haven't made one in years, but that's what I'm going to attempt to make now. So what I did was I actually put a little bit of butter on this cookie sheet so that my beef would slide easily. And I'm going to take and put a piece of plastic on top and smush it. So what I want to do is make a piece that is relatively thin, and I'm looking for it to be almost the size of a piece of American cheese. We're almost there. All right, so that one goes that way, and we should be able to pop that off. So now, I'm gonna take my American cheese, put it on top, and I'm gonna fold the corners in. Because in order to make this work, you have to have a little meat on meat action. So I'm gonna take this one, smush it, get it relatively flat. It doesn't have to be perfect. Oh, and I didn't mention, these are both just under 6 ounces total. These are both just under 3 ounces. So we're like a 1/3 of a pound burger. Once I get it on there, I'm gonna squish it, and then I'm gonna make a point to crimp all the edges and kind of just force the shape of the burger. Go back around, keep working it until you get a patty that's loaded with cheese on the inside. So I'm going to take a couple minutes. I'll make the other 3 I need to make for the rest of the family, and I'll show you the next steps. All right, so I've got my 4 patties made right here. Like I said, they're about 6 ounces or so total, and they all have American cheese on the inside. So I'm going to bring those over here. So I'm going to cook these on a cast iron skillet. I have it warming up. It's not screaming hot yet, but it's relatively warm. I want to toast my buns. So I have some Martin's potato rolls here, which I love because they're nice and soft, but they also work really well as a butter sponge. So I'm going to put my little butter sponges in here like this, and this is just butter in this pan. I'm going to move them around a little bit to absorb all the butter that's there. You can try to keep them together, you can let them separate, it doesn't matter. But to me, this is one of the most important parts of a really good burger is the texture and the flavor of the bun. So I always like to get a little bit of toasty color on the outside. So these are just about done. One of the things you can do is just add a little bit of pressure just to help them make sure they have good contact with the heat. That's what we're looking for. Some nice golden brown color. So I'm going to pull these off as they're ready. All right, now my pan is nice and hot. So what I'm going to do is come here to my burgers. I want to hit them with salt and pepper. If possible, I really like fresh ground black pepper. I'm going to hit them with salt. And then these are going to go on salt and pepper side down. And I'm going to go ahead and salt and pepper the other side. All right, we'll give these a couple minutes to cook and we'll check on them. So it's been about 4 minutes. So I think we're ready to flip these guys over. And that's what we want. The whole reason we're doing this in the cast iron skillet is to get some really nice color, which is going to give texture and flavor to our finished burger. So I'm gonna flip this over, let it go. See, I had a little blowout there. You can see the cheese inside starting to melt though. That's exactly what we want to see. Kind of put that back together. So I'm gonna let it go a few more minutes. Right when you flip it over, it's okay to give it a tiny little tap to make sure you have good contact with the really hot cast iron skillet, but never, ever, ever smush your burger. All right, we'll be back. All right, so our burgers are done. We've got a little bit of leakage there, but that's all right. All that's gonna get scraped up and go onto our burger. So I have the most adventurous eater in our house here, Lucy. You can look at the camera. So she is willing to let me build her burger for her with whatever she happens to want on there. So, you want mayonnaise?
Yes.
Yes. So, just like when we were talking about making the peanut butter and jelly sandwich, we try to put a fat, like mayonnaise or cheese or peanut butter, on the bottom of the bun. That helps to make it so juices don't seep through. All right, what do you want to put on next? Should we put on the burger?
Sure.
All right, so I'm gonna grab this burger here. I'm gonna try to scrape all the juices I can, all the cheese that I can on there. Beautiful. And then, can we do some ketchup?
Yes.
Okay. And then, how about a couple tomatoes?
Sure.
All right. And pickles? All right. I love it. And I'm going to use this pickle to kind of spread around the ketchup a little bit. And last but not least, a little bit of lettuce. You want? It's up to you. You can say no.
No, thank you.
Okay. So, here's beautiful Lucy's Juicy Lucy. So let's cut into this puppy. What do you think? You going to be able to eat that? Look at the cheese coming out the side.
So good.
Check that out. We've got a whole layer of cheese right inside the burger. So I'm really happy with how these came out. Thank you very much, Eli, for the suggestion. We won't say which of us voted for the American Chop Suey and which of us voted for the Juicy Lucy, but two really awesome choices. I hope you take the chance to make it on your own. Thanks so much for watching and have a great night.
Oh,
Is it hot?
It's hot.
Yeah.